The SS Intrepid trembled violently as it navigated the debris field, a chaotic expanse of twisted metal and shattered spacecraft remnants. Captain Ava Reynolds gripped the control panel, her knuckles widening with tension. Evasive maneuvers! Terra, engage thrusters now! The ship swerved, narrowly avoiding a jagged piece of alien wreckage. The view outside the viewport was a mesmerizing mix of colors, flashes of blue and green energy illuminating the darkness as enemy ships pursued them. Ava's heart raced, but her mind remained focused. Failure was not an option. "Thrusters engaged, Captain!" shouted Terra Chin, the ship's engineer, her fingers dancing over the controls. Her brow was furrowed in concentration, beads of sweat forming as the ship bucked beneath them. "But they're gaining on us. We need to shake them off. Can you access the cloaking system?" Ava replied, glancing at her tactical display. The red blips of enemy vessels were too close for comfort, their weapons primed for a strike. Terra hesitated, biting her lip. "I can try, but we'll need a minute to recalibrate the power distribution." "I don't know if we have that long." Commander Zarek, a formidable figure clad in alien armor, scowled from his seat. His sharp features contorted in annoyance. "Humans are too impulsive. We should engage them directly. We are not weaklings to be run from battle." Ava turned to face him, her determination surging. "And how many of us would that leave alive, Commander? We're outnumbered and outgunned. The only way we survive is by being smart." The tension in the cockpit thickened as Zarek's violet eyes narrowed. "You underestimate our capabilities. We are warriors. The very concept of retreat is beneath us." "Then I guess you'll just have to trust my instincts." Ava shot back, her voice steady despite the chaos around them. She refocused on the controls, feeling the ship respond to her command, its systems alive beneath her fingertips. The enemy ships loomed closer, their energy weapons charging. "Hold tight," Terra warned, as Ava executed a sharp turn, the ship's engines roaring defiantly. The enemy vessels followed suit, their pursuit relentless. Suddenly, a garbled message crackled through the comm system. Ava's heart skipped. "Incoming distress signal," she said, glancing at her instruments. "It's coming from a nearby planet." Zarek leaned forward, intrigue replacing anger. "A trap, undoubtedly. We cannot afford distractions." But Ava's gaze lingered on the flickering display. A part of her felt compelled. "What if it's genuine? What if we could help someone?" Terra's voice chimed in, filled with urgency. "Captain, this could be a diversion. We need to focus on escaping." But Ava's instincts tugged at her. "What if that's exactly what they want us to think? If we turn our backs, we might be leaving someone to die." Zarek scoffed. "Human weakness. We have our own survival to think about." Ava clenched her jaw, her resolve hardening. "Or we could be saving lives and proving humanity's worth. I say we go for it." A heavy silence settled over the cockpit. The engines roared, and the ship vibrated beneath them. It was a pivotal moment, one that would define their journey and challenge the perceptions held by Zarek and the others. With a final glance at the hostile vessels pursuing them, Ava made a decision. "Plot a course for the planet Terra." Terra's eyes widened. "Are you serious?" "Dead serious." "Engage the hyperdrive." The SS Intrepid surged forward, leaving the debris field behind. As they broke through the atmosphere and into the unknown, the crew braced for whatever awaited them on the surface below, caught between the promise of danger and the glimmer of hope. This chapter establishes the main characters, the central conflict, and the rising tension while immersing the reader in the narrative with sensory details and engaging dialogue. Each sentence contributes to character development and plot progression, setting the stage for future chapters. The SS Intrepid shuddered as it broke through the swirling clouds, revealing a vibrant landscape beneath. Lush jungles stretched across the planet, their colors pulsating with an otherworldly glow. Ava Reynolds leaned forward in her seat, awe mingling with apprehension. "Terra, any signs of the distress signal source?" "Picking up faint signals, Captain," Terra Chun responded, her fingers flying over the controls. "It's originating from a clearing ahead, about 2 kilometers from our current location. Looks like a potential landing zone. Good. Let's hope whoever is down there needs our help more than we need to worry about our own survival. Ava replied, casting a sideways glance at Commander Zarek. His expression was inscrutable, his thoughts hidden behind a stoic mask. Humans are known for their compassion, but it often clouds judgment, Zarek remarked, his tone dripping with skepticism. We are not equipped to handle every crisis in the galaxy. Ava met his gaze, her determination hardening. And we won't know until we get there. If we turn our backs on someone in need, what does that say about us? Zarek opened his mouth to retort, but a warning siren blared, interrupting their conversation. Tara's eyes widened as she glanced at her console. Captain? Incoming vessels! Looks like we're not alone down here. Damn it! Can we outrun them? Ava barked, urgency seeping into her voice. I'll do my best, Tara replied, her fingers moving quickly to maneuver the ship. But with their speed, we might not be able to shake them off. Ava felt her heart race. They had gambled by following the distress signal, but now they were facing the consequences. Prepare for evasive maneuvers. Zarek, I need your help on tactical options. Of course, he said, his demeanor shifting as the situation escalated. Let me access the weapons systems. We may have to fight our way through. As Tara worked the controls, the ship tilted, narrowly dodging a barrage of laser fire from the pursuing vessels. Ava clenched the armrest, the tension rising in the cockpit. The jungle below blurred into a whirl of greens and browns, the vibrant colors contrasting sharply with the threat looming above. Captain, we're running low on power! Tara shouted, frustration etched on her face. If we don't find a way to gain altitude, we'll be easy targets. Zarek, can we divert power from the shields? Ava asked, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. Zarek's eyes narrowed, contemplating the risk. It will weaken our defenses, but if we're going to escape, we have no choice. He nodded, determination flickering in his expression. Diverting power now. The ship's systems whirred and hummed as Tara adjusted the energy flow. Ava felt the vessel lurch, the familiar hum shifting to a more desperate tone. Hang on! The ship accelerated, darting to the left, avoiding another volley of fire. A bolt of energy grazed the hull, sending sparks flying through the cockpit. Ava instinctively shielded her eyes, adrenaline flooding her system. We can't keep this up. We need to get lower. We can use the jungle as cover. Tara shouted over the noise. Do it! Ava commanded, gripping the controls tighter as they descended. The ship pierced the cloud cover, plunging into the dense canopy. Suddenly, they broke through the foliage, branches whipping against the hull. The vibrant jungle closed in around them, and Ava fought to steady the ship amid the chaos. Tara, locate that distress signal. Right away! Tara responded, her fingers moving with a deftness honed by years of experience. It's just ahead, in that clearing. Then let's hope whoever's down there is still alive, Ava said, swallowing hard as she pushed the ship forward. As they neared the clearing, a flicker of movement caught Ava's eye. A massive alien creature stood among the trees, its luminescent skin shimmering in shades of blue and green. It emitted a deep growl, and Ava's heart sank. What the hell is that? Zarek's voice turned grim. It's a guardian of the jungle. If it senses us as a threat, we won't stand a chance. Then we'll have to hope we can convince it otherwise, Ava said, adrenaline surging through her as they touched down, engines sputtering. Prepare for impact. The ship thudded against the earth, and Ava's heart raced as she glanced at her crew. Let's move. We need to reach that signal and assess the situation, fast. As they exited the ship, the air was thick with tension and the scent of damp earth. The jungle surrounded them, alive with the sounds of distant creatures and the rustle of leaves. They stepped into the unknown, ready to face whatever awaited them in the depths of this alien world. Ava's heart raced as the dense foliage closed in around them. She could barely see 5 feet ahead, the vibrant greens and blues of the alien jungle creating an almost surreal backdrop. The sounds of distant creatures echoed through the air, an orchestra of strange calls and rustling leaves that heightened the tension in her chest. "Stay close," she whispered, glancing back at Zarek and Tara. The looming creature she had spotted earlier was still somewhere in the shadows, its presence a lingering threat. "We need to reach that clearing fast." Tara nodded, her expression serious. "The signal is strong, just ahead. But I don't like this feeling, like we're being watched." Zarek's voice cut through the atmosphere, deep and steady. "Humans often feel that way in unfamiliar territories. It's a survival instinct. We must be alert." As they pushed forward, the underbrush rustled ominously, sending a shiver down Ava's spine. She raised her pulse rifle, instinctively scanning the area. "If it's watching us, we need to show it we mean no harm." Suddenly, a loud snap echoed from the right. Ava spun around, weapon ready. A massive figure emerged, towering over them, a majestic, yet terrifying creature with scales that shimmered like jewels in the dappled sunlight. Its eyes, glowing with an intelligent light, regarded them with a mixture of curiosity and caution. "Is that the Guardian?" Tara whispered, her voice barely above a breath. "Yes," Zarek replied, his eyes narrowing. "We need to be careful. It won't take kindly to intruders." Ava stepped forward, heart pounding in her ears. "We come in peace," she called, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "We're here to help." The creature tilted its head, seemingly assessing her. Ava took a deep breath, remembering the stories of ancient warriors who had faced great beasts with courage and resolve. "We received a distress signal. We want to assist." The Guardian snorted, a sound reminiscent of a charging bull, and took a cautious step closer, its nostrils flaring. Ava could see its sharp teeth glinting in the sunlight. The creature seemed to sense the authenticity of her plea but remained hesitant, muscles coiled like springs. "Maybe it wants to see what we're capable of," Zarek suggested, his voice low. "It may be testing us." "Then let's show it," Ava replied, determination flooding her veins. "But we can't risk aggression. We need to demonstrate our intentions without provoking it." The creature's eyes flashed, and it lunged forward, snapping its jaws close to Ava. She barely flinched, but a jolt of fear shot through her. Zarek reacted instinctively, raising his weapon, but Ava shot him a sharp look. "No!" she hissed. "Don't fire! We need to earn its trust." With a calm voice, she approached the creature, lowering her weapon to the ground. "Please! We're not your enemies. Help us understand." To her surprise, the Guardian halted, its gaze flickering between Ava and Zarek. The tension in the air thickened, every heartbeat amplified. Ava reached into her pocket and pulled out a small energy crystal, one used for repairs on the ship. She held it out, palm open, a gesture of peace. "Here. It's a gift," she said softly, her voice steady. "We mean no harm." The Guardian's nostrils flared as it sniffed the air, then inched closer, cautiously extending its long neck toward her offering. Ava held her breath, hoping her gamble would pay off. As the creature touched the crystal with its snout, something shifted in its demeanor. Its eyes softened, and it took a step back, assessing Ava with a newfound curiosity. Tara exhaled, a hint of relief washing over her face. "I think it's considering us now. Let's see if it'll lead us to the source of the distress signal," Zarek murmured, his tone less rigid than before. "But we must remain vigilant." Ava nodded, feeling a spark of hope. "Let's move together. If we can gain its trust, we may learn more about what's happening here." The Guardian stepped back, revealing a narrow path through the jungle. Ava took a step forward, feeling a mixture of excitement and anxiety. "Thank you," she whispered, glancing back at her crew, who were now cautiously following her lead. As they ventured deeper into the jungle, the light dimmed, the canopy overhead creating a tapestry of shadows. Every rustle and snap of twigs echoed ominously, heightening the tension as they traversed the unknown. Suddenly, the air shifted. A low growl rumbled from the depths of the jungle, sending a chill down Ava's spine. The Guardian turned sharply, eyes narrowing. "What was that?" Tara asked, fear creeping into her voice. I don't know, but we need to move, now! Ava urged, adrenaline surging. The jungle was alive with danger, and they were running out of time. They pressed on, the Guardian guiding them as shadows danced around them, leading to an unknown fate that loomed just ahead. The growl reverberated through the jungle like a death knell, sending shivers of dread through Ava. She could feel the primal instinct to run, but there was nowhere to escape. The Guardian had turned to face the sound, its body tense and poised, ready for a confrontation. Is it angry? Tara whispered, her voice trembling. Or scared? Zarek replied, his eyes scanning the thick underbrush. Either way, we need to be prepared. Ava tightened her grip on her pulse rifle, the weight of it grounding her. Stay close. If this thing is hostile, we can't afford to be caught off guard. The low growl grew louder, and through the foliage, a pair of gleaming yellow eyes emerged. A massive creature, even larger than the Guardian, crashed through the underbrush. Its muscular frame was covered in thick, bristled fur, and its teeth glistened with drool as it approached, snarling. Holy! Tara shouted, stepping back, fear etched across her face. Stay calm! Ava commanded, her voice steady despite the chaos brewing around them. She instinctively stepped in front of Tara, raising her rifle, ready to defend. We don't want to provoke it. The Guardian lowered its body, a low growl rumbling from its throat, as if warning the intruder to back off. The tension in the air was palpable, thick enough to cut. Ava's heart raced as the predator's gaze shifted between them and the Guardian, sizing them up. Do we shoot? Zarek asked, a hint of uncertainty in his voice. No, Ava said firmly, her gaze fixed on the larger creature. We need to trust the Guardian. It's our only chance. With a fierce roar, the beast lunged at them. The Guardian reacted in an instant, leaping to intercept. Ava's breath caught in her throat as the two massive creatures collided. Fur and scales flew as they grappled, the sounds of their struggle reverberating through the jungle. Now! Ava shouted, glancing at Tara and Zarek. We need to find the distress signal. It's our only hope of helping these beings. The trio sprinted through the thick foliage, dodging branches and vines that seemed to reach for them. The sound of the battle behind them faded into a chaotic symphony of growls and snarls. Where is it? Tara gasped, her eyes darting around for any sign of the source. It should be close, Ava replied, trying to focus through the adrenaline. The faint hum of the distress signal was a beacon in the chaos, growing louder with each step. Keep moving! Suddenly, they broke into a clearing, the ground littered with strange debris and metal fragments. At the center, a smoldering wreckage pulsed with a faint blue light, an alien ship, half buried in the earth, its hull riddled with scorch marks and embedded with jagged rocks. There! Zarek pointed, breathless. That must be it! As they rushed toward the wreckage, the Guardian's roar echoed from behind, the clash of titans still raging on. Ava reached the ship first, kneeling beside a control panel, its interface flickering with static. Can you fix it? Tara asked, glancing nervously over her shoulder. Give me a second, Ava replied, heart racing as she focused on the screen. She could feel the weight of the world resting on her shoulders. We need this ship operational to save everyone. The control panel sparked to life, illuminating her face with a ghostly blue glow. Ava's fingers flew over the buttons, desperately trying to decipher the alien technology. Come on! Come on! Behind them, the sounds of battle intensified. The Guardian was putting up a fierce fight, but Ava could hear the predator's growls growing more aggressive. We need to hurry, she urged, glancing back. They won't hold out forever. I'm trying, Ava cried out, frustration boiling over. The display showed multiple warnings, an ominous reminder of the stakes. I need more time. Zarek stood at the entrance of the clearing, pulse rifle raised. Hurry up, Ava! We don't have much time. The control panel flickered ominously as if responding to her rising anxiety. Ava took a deep breath, blocking out the chaos around her. She focused on the screen, recalling the mechanics she had learned from their ship. If I can just bypass this. Yes. The ship hummed, its systems responding to her commands. The ground trembled as the Guardian roared again, pushing the predator back, but Ava could hear the creature growling, gaining ground. "Almost there!" she shouted, sweat trickling down her brow. With the final input, the ship's engines flared to life, a low thrumming sound echoing through the clearing. "Now what?" Tara cried, panic creeping into her voice. "Get ready to cover us!" Ava commanded, her heart pounding. "We'll activate the ship and pull the Guardian inside. It's our only chance!" As the clearing filled with an eerie blue light, the Predator lunged forward again, and the Guardian retaliated, their battle becoming a blur of motion and sound. With a surge of determination, Ava gripped the control panel. "Come on, let's get this ship moving!" Suddenly, the ship's thrusters flared, the energy washing over them like a wave. Ava turned back to the battlefield, adrenaline coursing through her. The Guardian fought valiantly, but it was clear they needed to act fast. "Now!" Ava shouted, as the ship's ramp lowered with a loud hiss. "Get inside!" Tara and Zarek rushed toward the ramp as Ava turned to cover their retreat. The Guardian was pinned against a massive predator, its fierce growls echoing through the clearing. "Come on, we can't leave it behind!" Tara yelled, her voice strained with urgency. "We'll bring it with us," Ava replied, her heart in her throat. "Just get inside." As the ramp lowered, the jungle around them felt alive with danger, the chaotic sounds of battle blending into a cacophony of survival. With one last glance back, Ava followed her crew inside, praying they weren't too late to save the Guardian and each other.